one. It was called Docket Day, and I asked him, "Is this a court of record?" And I got that from you, or is it a court of judicial court or private court, and he said it was a court of record. So same deal.
So what's great is when you say a court of record, like I did to the Marshall folks. And so when you do the court of record, you just say, well, under Blackstone's, and not Blackstone's, you don't have to go back that far. Go in 2000 Black's Law Dictionary. Say, oh, this is a court of record? Great. Because a court of record only operates under the common law. Thank you, Judge. He says, no, it doesn't. I said, there you go. Black 6, 2000. Read it. What does it say? A court of record operates only under the common law. So this is a common law hearing or trial. Which one are we having? Because hearings are administrative. Trials are common law. So is this a hearing? Yeah, well, this must be administrative. This must not be under the common law. So you're on the wrong side of the court, Your Honor. We're going to have to move it over to the correct side of the court. We're going to have to move it over to the common law side because you said this was a court of record. A phrase, a court of record, not 3 independent words. See, because a court of record could be 3 separate standalone words. Or court of record is a phrase. It's a term. It's a term of art. So is this a court of record? 1 word, just like a private attorney general. Now, you could be private attorney general. It could be 3 separate words, or you're a private attorney general. It's an actual title, like a definition of something. You can't separate the 3 words. It wouldn't make any sense. So you do a court of record. That's the whole trick. You get them to say it's a court of record. Lovely. You throw them that piece of paper that says Black's Law 6, 5th. It's in all of his versions of Black's. It says court of record operates only under the common law. It's like that's the very first thing, because everybody knows, it's like independent of the magistrate, independent tribunal, the other 3 or 4 things everybody knows. It has the power to contempt to hold a court or fine, So court of record, you say, lovely, because that's what I did to the U.S. Marshals, too. When I went to talk to them, I said, I went upstairs and I asked the clerk of the courts, I said, is this a court of record? She said, absolutely. So he said, yeah, well, there you are, the court's of record. I said, good. It was a court of record. And I showed him the book. He said, it operates only under common law. There you go. So it's only common law that they can conduct upstairs. So when they try to bring me over under Title 42, they're moving me into some sort of administrative court. They're moving me into some sort of code court. So they're moving in error. So I have to drag them back and say, no, I don't move any complaint under Title 42. I make claims as a man that you did me wrong.
And do they make you stand up when the judge enters the courtroom? Is that common law also? That is one damn good thing that I'm glad somebody brought up finally. When you walk into court, you stand up from the minute you walk into court till the minute you leave, because what you're doing is you're standing in common law. And when you say, what are you doing? I said, I'm standing. I said, this is a court of record, right? This is operating under common law, right? Yeah. To me, you're standing in common law. Never give up your standing. So even though it's a little theatrical and even though it's a little funny, I never sit down. From the minute I walk into court, I said, I'm just here to answer all claims against me. Who's going to come forth and make a claim against me? And this is what I tell people, too. What's funny is if you're really, truly holding your court and you're making a claim, what you do is that you say, I was here being summoned to appear here at 9 o'clock. So you make your claim at 9 o'clock. Is there any man who's going to come forward and make a claim against me? Because at this point, I have still not had a claim been presented to me. So I say to people, I said, why don't you guys just walk into court and at 9 o'clock just say that 3 times. Is any man here to make a claim against me? I'm here to answer all claims. Is anybody here to make a claim against me? And if they say, well, just wait, the judge will be here soon. No. I don't have a claim. I still don't have a claim against me. So then when you say it 3 times and then you leave. You say, I was there, Judge. You summoned me to be there at 9 o'clock. I was there at 9 o'clock. It doesn't say to be there at 9:01. It doesn't say there'd be at 9:02, right? Because if I was here at 9:01, I'd be in trouble, wouldn't I, Judge? Yeah, you would be if you were late. That's right. I was here exactly at 9 o'clock. I stood up and said, is anybody here to make a claim against me? Nobody answered. Does the court send you anything in where you're at? Because they don't send anything to us here.
Well, what are you talking about? When you get the traffic ticket, they just tell you to appear in 30 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just tell you to appear in 30 days. So like I said, what you have to do is you can't wait. Everything, like I tell people a million times, you never open your mouth in court. Everything has to be in writing. So you already sent this to the other side. So is there any man who's going to come file and ever make a claim against me? I'm waiting for a claim. All I've gotten was this silly citation about some sort of code violation. I have no idea what Section 6011132 means. I don't have a clue, and there's nothing in the law that forces me to interpret your code. There's nothing in the law says I have to know what your silly numbers mean. All I know is I was traveling from point A to point B. As far as I know, I didn't cause any harm to any God's creatures, great or small. I didn't cause any damage to any man's property. And I didn't have a contract with that man who pulled me over saying that I was driving his car in a manner that we did not agree on. That's my car. I can drive it any damn way I want. So who's going to make the claim against me? So like I said, the prosecutor usually reads that stuff when I file. I gave it to them, and they read it in 2 seconds, and they just laugh. They go, you some sort of a lawyer? I go, no, I'm your worst nightmare. That I can guarantee. He says, well, we'll see. Like I said, the last time I went to court, the guy said that to me. He said, I'll see you in court in 30 days. I said, well, then I'm going to get you for barratry, filing a malicious claim against me, and filing a false claim against me. I said, believe me, you're going to get a claim handed to you from me, and then you're going to have to answer to my claim. So they were like, oh, yeah, funny. It's like, okay, good. I'll see you guys in 30 days. And like I said, the whole trick is when you walk in there, it doesn't say, we hear that I broke the law. Is somebody making a claim that I broke the law? Because the law in the code.
You said you got some of his claims on your site?
Yeah, let me say it for the recording. It's myprivateaudio.com. myprivateaudio.com. Started out as My Private Audio, but turns out everybody else gets to use it. It's the easiest way. All the documents from all the guest speakers that they send me anyway are posted there. On you go to the guest speakers page and click on Karl's name, Karl Lentz, and it'll take you to his documents and what he sent me. It's all posted there. And also other information. Also, if you look at the call history page, it also has pertinent information for the calls we do. And I include other calls sometimes. There's a good guest speaker on. And I guess that's it. We're going to wrap it up for tonight.